Back with Cheryl Pounder to further discuss the upcoming Women's World Hockey Championship. And Cheryl, we're going to take a closer look at Canada's blue line, specifically Renata Fast and Jocelyne Larocque, who have become the definitive shutdown pair for Canada and PWHL Toronto. What makes them so effective?
Well, there's a reason why that Toronto of the PWHL wound out and got them both, because they wanted to pair them together because they know how pivotal they are on the back end. I mean, not only the minutes that they play, but the shutdown rule. I mean, they shut down the top players in the world on the international level. And the reason why is you look at someone like Jocelyne Larocque, who's the oldest member of the team. I'm sure she appreciates that I'm saying that, but she is so fit, right? And she recognizes, because she's been in the game so long, she centralized back in 2010. So think of the depth and layers to her game. She knows exactly who's on the ice at what time, but she plays with an edge. In the contact zone along the boards, you know that she's going to lay it on, right? So you know that she's going to separate body from puck, and she's not afraid to activate as well. And then in Renata Fast, I believe that you have one of the best skaters in the world. The way she surfs up, and what I mean by that, that's gap control. That's another word for gap control. She uses her stick to push to the outside. She closes. She plays with an edge. And now she's also starting to shoot the puck offensively and take the lanes that she earns for herself by her edge work on the blue line. So together, the two of them, they transition, they can move the puck, and they can certainly keep the best players in the world at bay.
And you mentioned the amount of minutes that they have. I mean, it's staggering. Both averaging over 28 minutes for the season in the PWHL. As we take a look at their ice time for Toronto in March, one game in particular stands out for both players with almost 40 minutes each on March the 6th. Now, Troy Ryan coaches both Toronto and the Canadian national team. Is there any concern about fatigue for this top pair?
Well, there'd certainly be some concern for me. I mean, can you imagine, Rod? I mean, I know you're hot, Rod, but can you imagine getting out there and playing 40 minutes of a game? So playing two full periods?
4 for me.
I mean, it's incredible when you think about it. And I had the opportunity to speak to Troy Ryan. He said, listen, we're monitoring them day to day, right? We're doing power activities to make sure we're recognizing whether they are in a mode of fatigue, and they're not showing anything right now. My concern, though, is how it's forecasting, how it is projecting down the road, right? So you can be fine one moment and then all of a sudden not the next, because they're heading into a world championship where you know that they're going to have to play valuable minutes yet again, especially when they get to the playoff round. But then they're coming out to the PWHL playoffs, and you know that they're going to be heavily relied upon. So I think that they're going to have to be very, very careful with these two and make sure that there's some maintenance built in, even into the world championships for them.
Who would you like to see in a more elevated role on defense for Canada?
You know, when I look at the back end, there's one player that has been jumping off the page for me for a number of years, and that's Shelton from Ingersoll, Ontario. She's playing with New York right now. She got the first ever goal in the PWHL, so that puck's in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But I just love what she brings from the defensive aspect. She's a back-to-back national champion with Clarkson. She blocks shots. She knows how to protect the middle of the ice. But one of the things that I really look at, in particular against the United States, is how you can play on the wall and how you can play net front as a defender. And she can shut it down. She can shut down the cycle. She can box out. But now she's taking calculated risks offensively, right? She has an Olympic Winter Games under her belt. I think it's time for her not only to get elevated minutes, but to get power play time as well, where Canada has really not executed over the top. I think she deserves an opportunity. She's got a good shot. She's got good vision. And I'm expecting her not only to play a valuable role, but to play an increased role at this upcoming World Championship.
Yeah, Shelton with 13 points for New York this season. That leads all defenders in the PWHL. Cheryl Pounder, thank you for this.